Thanks for joining me today. I am working with these beads from Michael's that are little skulls, and I have some kind of gunmetal gray ones here as well. And I'm going to make, what I'm going to call a skull cane. It's not candy, so just a little decoration for my tree. I have some floral wire here, which is a little bit thinner gauge and a little bit more bendable than I'd really like. But I'm going to make it work because it's the only wire I have that will actually fit through the beads still. And so I'm going to go ahead and double it up. And I just felt that gave it a little bit more rigid and structure, that it will hold the cane shape from that. And so I just tested to make sure that it was still going to be able to go through the beads, being 2 layers, and it's going to be just fine. So I'm going to just twist it together, and I'm just making it longer than I think I'm going to need, because you have to twist off the ends as well, so that the beads don't fall off. So to get it to be one piece, I'm first just going to twist all of the wire, just, twist it. I thought later, I wonder if I could have actually fit 3 strands of this wire through and then braided it, but I don't think that would have worked. I think it would have made it too thick. So I'm just going to do this real fast, and I'll show you here in just a second kind of what that is looking like on this as well. Now, if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, and it just helps support the channel and helps others find me as well. Keeps you up to date on all my crafting adventures. So that's kind of what it looks like as we're turning. I'm going to get it turned here and just straighten it out a little bit as I go. I don't want any kind of crinks or creases in the wire. I want it to just be one bendable piece so the beads will go on easily. Just measured to make sure that I'm still on track, and I know it's going to be longer than I need, but I just twisted it off anyway instead of cutting it off. I don't know why, just because. Apparently I liked twisting a lot. So after I have my wire to where it's kind of doubled, I'm going to take my beads, and I'm just going to take the very bottom bead and put it on first. I can't go through the bottom. I want to snip off the top just to give myself a clean edge to feed through the beads. So think about snipping off the end of your string before you go through the needle. So I want to do the end of this before I string the rest of the beads on. So what I'm going to do, and I had a little bit of a loop still, so I tried to twist that off as much as I could. And then I'm going to take these, I don't even know what they're called. I have these jewelry tools. I don't make jewelry. I don't know what they're called, but they're kind of a circle plier at the end. So you do that, and then you can wrap your wire around it. And I just wrapped it around it once, and then wrapped the wire tail around the longer piece of wire. And this one turned out great. And none of the others I did turned out great. But this first one I did, it turned out great. And so I just pinched it off to the wire and snugged that bead down on it, and it fit right over it, and it's kind of flush to where that little kind of circle is from the wire. Now I'm just going to feed it alternating beads. So I have a gunmetal bead and then a skull bead, and then just do that. I think I did 5 skulls in this direction, and then I switched directions because I didn't want the skulls on the upper part of the cane to be facing like look upside down. So I switched them where the cane was going to curve, and that way the skulls at the top of the cane are looking the right way. See? So now I'm going to take and attempt to do the same thing at the top that I did at the bottom. However, I left myself way too much room, and for some odd reason I decided to do 2 loops around the kind of circle making plier things. I had no idea why it didn't work out, so then I took part of it off and started twisting it around the wire that's going through the beads, and it did not work like the first one worked, and it is not quite as pretty, but it did get the job done, and it's not hugely noticeable. It's black wire, the end beads are very dark, so it just kind of blends in together. But just take that lesson from me, just one loop there, and go closer to your bead. Try to get as snug to that bead as you can, and then you don't end up with this kind of awkward tail thing that I have going on here. But I still like it. It's still cute. And so right now it just looks like a string of beads, but after I can get this fastened and I press it down really well because I don't want it to poke me later. And it really is kind of, you know, pliable to put into that cane position. And it does pretty much stay there. It's gonna, you know, hang on the tree. And it really does keep shape pretty well. So, really kind of quick, easy craft. You could use any colors that you wanted to do. I'll give you kind of a look at what I mean by my not so great little tie-offs here. But here is the one that's just gorgeous. I got 1 out of 4. Not bad. I'll see you next time.